Whenever we make a video about wood finishing, I get questions about alternatives for those who live in areas that restrict certain high VOC products. VOCs are volatile organic compounds. That's the stuff in paints and varnishes and solvents that kill your brain cells if you breathe too much in. These are becoming more and more restricted by various governments. Here in the US, I think California has the strictest regulations, especially in the southern part of the state, which has its own set of environmental standards. But other states in the United States are starting to regulate these products as well, and also other places in the world. This means you might not be able to find some solvents or finishes that were once very common, and you may be looking for an alternative. Unfortunately, I can't just say, buy this, because laws and availability can be a little complicated. But in this video, we'll try to work through it as best we can. By the way, all of the solvents that we speak about have their own pros and cons, as well as their own safety requirements. Today, we're talking about what you might use based upon what you can get your hands on. But once you find and choose a solvent, you may wish to check out a separate tutorial we made that discusses each of these solvents in more detail. I'll link to that one below this video. Now let's begin with mineral spirits, or what are sometimes called white spirits. This is one of the most common woodworking solvents. It may be used to wipe down a bare wood surface to get it clean and ready for finish, or you might use it to thin finishes like polyurethane so they'll level easier. You won't get brush marks or maybe that orange peel-like surface. You may also thin a varnish with mineral spirits if you want to spray it, or if you need it to dry more quickly, for example, so that it won't have time to sag on a vertical surface. If you put enough mineral spirits in your finish, you get wiping varnish, which may be easily applied with a cloth in thin coats. So obviously, mineral spirits is a very useful solvent, but you can no longer buy it in some areas. In fact, you can't even buy traditional wiping varnish in some areas because it contains a lot of mineral spirits. So if you need to thin an oil-based finish or make your own wiping varnish, what can you use instead of mineral spirits? Well, if you want to thin an oil-based finish such as polyurethane, you need a thinner that's compatible with oil. For thousands of years before mineral spirits became the norm, turpentine was the thinner of choice. But many of the same places that restrict mineral spirits also now restrict turpentine. So naphtha may be used to thin many oil-based finishes. Naphtha is more flammable than mineral spirits, but you wouldn't want to use any of these products around a source of ignition anyway. Naphtha also dries more quickly. So if you use it to thin a product, you might not want to use as much naphtha to thin it as you would have used if you were using mineral spirits, because it may dry too quickly and begin to gum up as you're brushing or wiping it on. If you can't buy naphtha, maybe you can buy acetone. Acetone is a strong solvent, so it's really effective for cleaning your finishing equipment and even wiping down to prepare a surface for finish. It's not considered a VOC contributor, so it may be available in these places that highly regulate other finishes. But acetone dries very quickly, and this can affect how you apply your finish. If you're going to make a wiping varnish, for example, you would normally use a 50-50 ratio. That may work for small projects, but I'd be hesitant to do a large surface with such a mix because it may start to tack up before I get the whole thing covered with finish. Acetone will also dissolve uncured finishes, so you don't want to use it as a cleaner on top of a finished surface. What about paint thinner? For many years, cans labeled paint thinner were, you guessed it, mineral spirits. They may also have contained turpentine or naphtha or some of the other strong solvents that are now restricted. So in these newly regulated areas, paint thinner may no longer mean what it used to. It's become a generic term that may refer to a blend of acetone and even other chemicals, maybe even something completely different. Unless you're certain you know what's in the can, I wouldn't use paint thinner to thin a good finish that you intend to put on your nice woodworking project because you don't know what it's going to do to the finish. The same rule applies to lacquer thinner. You may not worry too much about what's in the can if you're just using it to clean your spray equipment. But if you're thinning a lacquer you intend to spray on all your hard work, be sure you use a lacquer thinner that is specifically recommended by that lacquer's manufacturer rather than what may be generically called lacquer thinner on the shelf in the store. Unfortunately, This makes it very difficult to spray lacquer finishes in some of these highly regulated areas. So are you sensing a pattern here? If the label doesn't specifically name the solvent that's in the can, you'd better test it on something you don't care about. And if you live in an area that has begun to heavily regulate these products, you shouldn't assume that a product that used to work even just a few years ago is still the same product today despite what it says on the label. Some manufacturers have begun producing new versions of their products specifically for sale in these regulated areas, and you can't always tell the difference by what's written on the can. So test it first. One product that's unlikely to be regulated anytime soon is citrus oil or citrus solvent. This is a natural oil that comes from lemons or oranges. It's not the same as citrus cleaning products. That may contain citrus oil, but there's also a lot of other stuff in those. Citrus oils that are to be used as thinners must be about 98% pure oil with just a teeny tiny bit of water. Citrus oils are safe for your health and for the environment, and they may be used with any oil-based finish, including polyurethane. But they can be expensive and sometimes difficult to find in your local stores. So what if you say, forget all these regulations. I want to use what I want to use. Instead of looking for an alternative solvent, you may look for an alternative source for the solvent you require. Before we get into that, I should say that I don't know the laws in your area. I can tell you where you may find certain solvents, but I can't tell you if it's legal to bring them into your state or into your county or to use them for woodworking purposes in your garage workshop. It's your responsibility to know and follow any applicable laws. I also need to stress that you shouldn't use an off-label product if you don't know exactly what's in it and how to use it safely. Even if you're reasonably sure of its contents, you should still test it with your finish on some scraps of wood first. And just as a default, assume that you shouldn't breathe its fumes, let it touch your skin, or use it around any source of ignition. Now, if you can't find the solvent you want in the paint department, you may be able to find it elsewhere in the store. For example, depending on the brand, charcoal lighter fluid may be naphtha or even mineral spirits. Naphtha is also sometimes sold in the camping department as a fuel, often known as white gas. If you can't find denatured alcohol, you may be able to thin or dissolve shellac with isopropyl alcohol, which is found in the pharmacy. Just make sure you use a 99% solution rather than the more common and watered down 70% solution. Or better yet, you might use high-proof grain alcohol, such as Everclear. And if you need a little acetone, you may be able to get it in the beauty department if it's still sold there as nail polish remover. You might also consider driving to a place where the solvent you want is not as heavily regulated and stocking up. That may be a few counties away, or it may be across state lines. As a last resort, you might just have to switch to a water-based finish. Someday, we may all be forced to use water-based finishes, and some companies have made some real advances in their products in terms of durability and appearance. General Finish makes a good water-based finish. It would be nice to live in a world where we don't need respirators in the finishing room and everything cleans up with soap and water. Until that time comes, I hope this video helps you solve your solvent problems. See you next time. This is the CRB7 router jig system from Empower Tools, and it does just about everything with amazing accuracy due to its clever micro adjuster. It's just one of the many product innovations from this small family-owned company. You gotta check them out at the link in the notes below this video. Wait, don't go yet. If you're new here, please subscribe and remember to ring the bell. I would really appreciate that. Give us a thumbs up, or better yet, leave us a comment. I always read them. And be sure to check out the latest issue of Stumpy Nubs Woodworking Journal. It's always packed with tips, tricks, and tutorials designed to make you a better woodworker.